Hey everyone, welcome to What to Expect from Yonsei KLI Level 1. Your first day is going to be your placement test, and this is if you're in the 4-hour morning program, which is for full-time KLI students, or if you're in the 2-hour afternoon program, which is for study abroad students. The placement test isn't that bad, especially if you're in Level 1. You'll write your name on the piece of paper, and it's just multiple choice questions that are vocabulary identification. Just go down as far as you can and keep flipping the pages. It does get harder the farther you go back, and this will naturally separate people. If you don't know Korean whatsoever, that's totally fine. Write your name, stare at the first question, know that you don't know Korean, and hand it in. Once you have your level sorted out, then you're going to get textbooks. There are 3 main textbooks that you're going to need for each level. There's your reading book, your workbook, and your textbook. The total price for all 3 new is going to be about 60 to 70 USD. I haven't bought my textbooks recently, so I don't know if they've changed the prices. So make sure you put that into your budget. I do know you can get used books from a lot of students who move up a level in classes who don't really need the textbooks anymore. If you do get a used book, make sure you check it so that the level of writing in the book is okay for your needs. The only book I would recommend you getting new every time is the workbook, just because you really do have to fill it out and show your own work as homework for the teacher. So once you've got your textbooks, you're going to go to your first week of class. And I hate to say it, it's pretty much going to be learning Hangul boot camp. So if you've already learned Hangul, it's going to be really tedious, but it is quite important, and it's a good opportunity to make sure your phonetic system is matching a native speaker's phonetic system. Your teacher's going to go through with each person and have them repeat after her every single vowel, all the consonants, all the patchim, and it's going to be a little bit tiring when you get to the end of the week, but I promise you it's worth it. Using Hangul from the beginning and not relying on romanization is very beneficial to your learning. After you get through the first week, and it could be 2 weeks, it just depends on the speed of your class, your teacher's going to move on to the dialogues, and they will be in formal speech. That means sumida, sumika, nida. Now, that can be awkward when talking with your same-age Korean friends, but you will learn how to use the yo form quite naturally outside of class, and then you'll study it officially in Level 2. So bear with the formalities. It's better to learn how to be very polite and formal than it is to learn to be accidentally informal. Just a note on each class, they do move at different speeds depending on the teacher, the classroom, and the students. So don't worry if you're only at Chapter 4 and your friend in another classroom is on Chapter 5. That might just be because her teacher is pushing them faster, or overall the students are moving a little more easy through the material. It doesn't mean that you're a bad learner or that you're in the slow class. It just means that that's the decision the teacher made in order to best teach her students. Your teacher might just be being more thorough, so don't overthink those kinds of things. Very important, do not skip too much class. I know everyone's going to have to skip a day or 2 here for medical reasons or immigration. However, you need to look in the syllabus and see how many hours of class you can skip before you fail. It is very, very strict. Once you hit that hour limit, there's nothing you can really do to get back from that failing grade. If you have to go to the hospital, please go to the hospital. If you have to do immigration, really, that is so much more important than any class you could do. Take care of your immigration matters. However, I'll just say keep track of how much time you miss. Ask the teachers if you are worried about missing too much time, and just be aware that that is a factor in your final grade. So life inside the classroom. The classrooms are pretty small, but they're not cramped. The Level 1 classes will be bigger just because more people start at Level 1. And by the time you get to Level 6, there aren't going to be very many people in there, and it will be a quite close classroom. Now this is a note especially for the 4-hour class in the morning. It is a little tricky to get good food because the GS25 that's downstairs gets packed really quick with students getting last-minute breakfast. And that's true of all the little eateries. So if you are a must-have breakfast person, really plan ahead. The same goes for coffee. The lines get really long at the cafes during the class breaks. So if you want coffee, you better be out that door and ready to go. Now the actual classrooms, one thing I really didn't like is they have those desks that I used to use when I was in middle school, where it's just one desk attached to a chair, and they weren't very comfortable. And the tall guys really had a lot of issues because I'm a rather petite girl, and so I can kind of fold into a small desk pretty well. But you have some of these tall guys and they're climbing in there and their knees are hitting the desk. So that's just one thing to keep in mind if you do get a sore back. Alright guys, so I hope this video was informative to you and that you do have a good experience at Yonsei KLI or studying at Yonsei in general. Please ask questions below because I can answer a lot more specifically to your situation, and I will make a follow-up video talking about my study abroad experience and my graduate experience as well. Alright, hope you guys have a good day. Bye.